All right, so today we're going to dive into a YouTube channel that honestly is doing something that feels kind of rare these days. It's this incredibly authentic window into a place. We're talking about Arie's Kraków and Poland experience.
So let's get right into it. Think about the travel content you see all the time, right? It's all epic drone shots, super slick editing, and these really high-energy hosts telling you about the top 10 must-see spots. And it's cool, but when everything is that polished, does it still feel real? Does it feel like a genuine experience? Well, this channel basically throws that entire formula out the window. And this, right here, really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you've got your standard commercial vlog. It's scripted, it's polished, it's a full-on production. But then you have Arie's approach, and it's all about just unscripted thoughts. It's a first-person point of view, full of these raw, unfiltered moments. It's really less of a production and more like a personal diary. So let's break down exactly what makes that so compelling. Okay, first up, let's talk about the perspective. This is not a show being presented at you. The whole feeling is that you're just walking alongside him. You're seeing what he sees as he sees it. It's a shared walk, not a performance. And it starts with something so simple. Just think about that greeting. Almost every single video kicks off the exact same way. There's no fancy intro sequence, no loud music, nothing like that. It's just this quiet, consistent welcome that immediately sets this super personal, down-to-earth tone. It really does feel like you're meeting up with a friend who's just about to show you around town. And this is where the magic happens, the unscripted moment. Spotting a squirrel is not a planned highlight, right? Any other travel vlog would edit that out in a second, thinking it's irrelevant. But here, it's kind of the whole point. It's these tiny, real details that really make you feel like you're right there walking with him. And then you've got the ending. Every single video closes the same way too. A kind wish and the exact date. And that little detail is surprisingly powerful. It completely transforms the video from just another piece of content into this very specific time-stamped diary entry. Suddenly, you're not just watching a tour, you're sharing that specific day with him.
All right, next up, we have got to talk about the sheer scope of this channel. Because over time, this has become way more than just a series of vlogs. It's almost like a living, breathing encyclopedia of Poland. It's documenting the country with just incredible detail and breadth.
I mean, you'll find these incredible journeys through stunning natural spots. He takes you on these unique treetop walks, these skywalks that just wind through the forest canopy in places like Sienkiewicz and Waxmund, and you get this amazing perspective of what it's like to be literally walking among the trees. And then there's the history side of things. The channel is basically a massive archive of historical sites. He explores countless castle ruins, everything from the big, well-known landmarks to these more obscure, kind of hauntingly beautiful places like Zamek Melstein. And he shows them just as they are, you know? No crowds, no big fanfare. But what's really cool is how deep he goes into these niche interests, the kind of stuff you'd almost never find in a typical travel guide, like a visit to the Museum of Electronics and Retro Computers. It's just celebrating this totally different facet of culture, showing off old Commodore and Atari machines. So cool! And look, it's not just about landmarks or museums. The channel is brilliant at capturing the vibrant, everyday pulse of life in Poland. One minute you're dropped right into the middle of a bustling art fair, and the next you're watching an impromptu breakdance show in Krakow's main square. You're just soaking in the real atmosphere. But beyond just what the channel shows, what I personally find so fascinating is how the storytelling has changed over time. It's really evolved. What started out as these simple visual tours has transformed into something much, much deeper. It shifted from just pure observation to really thoughtful analysis. So if you look at the early videos, the style was very direct, very descriptive. You know, like in this tour of Dobczycki Castle, it's a simple walkthrough. He's basically just telling you what you're seeing. And that's useful, for sure. But it's mostly a visual guide. But then, contrast that with a quote from one of the more recent podcast-style deep dives. The focus shifts completely. The narration isn't just describing what you can see anymore. It's digging into the meaning behind it, the deep historical context, the why. And that shift, wow, it just adds this powerful new layer of value. So this unfiltered personal style is great for castles and markets, right?
But its true power, its real importance, that becomes crystal clear when the channel approaches Poland's most sensitive and difficult histories.
I mean, let's be honest. You just can't visit sites of immense tragedy with typical vlogger hype or commercial gloss. It's just not right. Places like the former concentration camp Plaszow or Auschwitz-Birkenau, they demand a totally different approach, a different lens, one of quiet respect, of solemn witnessing. There is absolutely no place for sensationalism here.
And you see this so clearly in the Plaszow walkthrough. Instead of making his own grand statements, Arie shares a survivor's testimony. He walks the grounds and lets these raw, powerful human stories fill the space. By stripping away all the production, by just bearing quiet witness, the channel offers this incredibly powerful and deeply respectful way to experience this history. It really lets the place and the memories it holds speak for themselves.
So when you put all of these pieces together, you start to see that Arie's Kraków and Poland experience is really so much more than just a YouTube channel. It's a totally unique and valuable perspective. It's a whole different way of seeing and, well, understanding a country.
So what makes it so unique? Well, first, it's that commitment to unfiltered reality. In a world where everything is perfectly curated, I think we're all just craving something we can actually trust. Then there's the genuine personal connection it builds. It's the difference between just being a spectator and feeling like a companion on the journey. You've got that encyclopedic scope that captures, well, everything. And finally, that role as a respectful witness. It just gives the whole project this profound, undeniable depth. And all of this really leaves us with a big question to think about. In this age where we are just drowning in content, how does the way we document a place end up changing how we actually understand it? This channel is such a powerful reminder of the huge difference between a polished script and an unedited first-person view. It really makes you stop and think about what the true value of authenticity is.